Thank you all for your time in advance. I just wanted to clear up one thing straight away. As Tyler correctly introduced me, I'm involved in an initiative called Mosavali. Mosavali is an initiative to produce and disseminate distance learning content in Georgia. But we've recently rebranded the platform, the mobile online platform that we're building around that content, to Tractor, which is partly in order to separate the nonprofit from the for-profit entities, but also we feel that this name might be more appropriate for international expansion, which is something that we do hope to achieve at some point. Just a little bit of background before I start. I've been in Georgia for 4.5 years, the first 2 of which with the Dutch Embassy, managing the Netherlands Development Cooperation Funds in the South Caucasus. 2.5 years ago, I joined ELVA, my organization. We have been involved in IT development, particularly with regards to data collection and visualization for a range of international organizations, mostly outside of Georgia. And in the last year, we've used that experience to use technologies for and the topic of agriculture here in Georgia. And in this presentation, I'd like to do 2 things. First of all, I'd like to briefly discuss and show you what we've done over the last 12 months. And then secondly, I'd like to just go over our plans for the coming year. I'm going to I've shared my screen with you, and I'd like to just take you through my browser essentially and show you some of the work we've done. I hope that that goes fluently. Please do let me know if that's not the case. I'd first like to show Mosavali. With Mosavali, we have implemented since September last year. So we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary of going live in Georgia with a series of educational videos on farming. We believed at the time last year that online communication was becoming an increasingly useful tool to reach farmers, which even in Georgia was definitely not the case up to very recently. And to test those assumptions, we've released a series of educational videos and disseminated them mostly through YouTube and Facebook. Facebook is a very popular medium in Georgia, which has helped us also in getting this content online. Our videos have a specific format. They're short, 2 to 3 minutes, maximum 3 minutes, each revolving around one crop and actually one particular practice, key agricultural practice within that crop. I'll just show you, and I hope this goes well. I'll turn off the volume here. So this is one of our videos that we've done on honey. And in our videos, we, besides the fact that we keep them short and action-based, conducive to distribution on social media, we work with local experts. So we work with what we call expert farmers that we source from our community of working with different organizations that have been working in agriculture on the ground for many, many years already. And so we're working with people, and we're using techniques that are easily implementable, that should be easily implementable for our target audience, which are essentially small to medium-sized farmers in Georgia. As you can see, we're using presenters, local presenters. We're also increasingly working with new techniques in terms of video production. One of the things is, for example, that you see a lot of videos these days have text in the video to summarize key points, which is also what we're doing here, as I hope you are able to see. And we'll be doing this increasingly, actually. Our videos have been very successful. If you just have, just quickly running by, this video, for example, was released a few weeks ago. It's had about 500 views so far. We get most of our views on Facebook, but just to very quickly go to YouTube, which has somehow so as you can see, so this is over the last year, which in terms of results, it has exceeded our expectations. As just on YouTube, we have over 250,000 minutes viewed in the last half year. That is on a target audience. The target audience we have is of around 600,000 farmers in Georgia. We consider about 150,000 of them to be of the type that are that are very serious about farming, regarded not just as a subsistence level activity, but and are open to change and that are more likely to be connected to the internet. Of those 150,000, we think that about 75,000 are connected to the internet regularly. And the fact that we have about 150,000 views on our videos so far just on YouTube shows that we are actively engaging a number of them already. We have around an average of well over 5,000 views per video, which doesn't sound like a lot, but we do think that it is already, given the fact that each video is around a very specific crop and specific topic, we believe that we are already reaching quite a significant part of our audience. If you look on Facebook real quick, we've had around over 500,000 10-second views in the last year, and of those 10-second views, we find that around half of them actually watches about 70% of the video. So that also comes down to roughly 250,000 views so far. So that has been positive, and now we want to use that experience, that content, and take that to the next level, so to say. How we're doing that is that we are currently developing a mobile and online platform that will embed this content as well as other content that is available in a way that is more accessible to farmers. This is the platform that we're currently working on. This is the browser version. We're also working on an Android version, and hopefully soon after that also iOS. We'll have a beta version online by the end of next month, and we aiming for an official launch on 1 February next year, so ready for the new season. Just very quickly, we ask people to log in, well, possibly via Facebook, and of course also just via email and name. When people log in, we'll ask them for their location, and we'll ask them for the crops that they grow or are interested in. And that allows us to target them with information more targetedly based on their exact location and based on their exact interests. For example, we're working with an American company to provide us with accurate weather forecasts and very localized, as we know exactly where the farmer is located. This weather module is already much more advanced in terms of the information that farmers can access currently. And we're hoping these are just simple forecasts, so to say. We're working actually to also gradually include more advanced agronomic models that will, at least for certain crops, hopefully be able to inform farmers on for example, when might be a good time to fertilize or use, or when might be a good time to watch out for certain pests and diseases. As I mentioned, we'll also be including the content that we're producing here. I'll just quickly switch to English here. In the section we call Power Tips, for each product, each crop, we want to have one database, so to say, and where we'll list information per relevant practice or topic, and use video, but also, if necessary, text, and also we'll be including a lot of already existing publicly available manuals, booklets, etc. in PDF format. We'll also be including this information in a calendar format, what we call our digital crop calendar. So here, for each different crop, and please please note that all of this is very much. So here we see per practice, and this is not live information again, but we'll also be here referring back to the information that we already have in the Power Tips. Now, what this allows us to do, of course, is to target farmers with information based on their individual needs and location. And we'll also be using that to target them with relevant ads. The platform will be for profit. We know that given our target audience, we probably won't be able to, at least not in the short to medium term, ask subscription fees from our users themselves. So we'll be working with third-party actors. We're currently working on including the online sales of goods and services over the platform. For example, and where we'll be focusing on inputs, financial services, partly from third-party vendors, so existing actors. Think, for example, of an input supplier that is currently selling but not online, as it's still pretty difficult to start and run an online shop here in Georgia. We can take that out of their hands. What we'd ultimately like to start doing is to start bundling these products with financial services, as well as services that are currently not available in Georgia, but that we think should be available. For example, we're currently discussing with a Dutch firm that has developed new technology, infrared-based scanning technology to more cheaply do soil testing. This is something that we think is highly relevant in a country like Georgia, and we look forward to integrating these services into the platform, and thereby gradually becoming for farmers the place for smart farming practices within any country that we are active. I think that's at this point more or less it.